Nice to have you in today's edition of You and Your Health. I remain your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye, the president of Doctors Save a Life Foundation. We are in this particular series, Operation Total Eradication of Health Ignorance among our people. It's been a miserable experience of our people. Unfortunately, Nigeria, in her greatness, being registered statistically as one of the nations with the lowest life expectancy in the world. Is not acceptable. And we are coming up with something that said, can we now interact? Can we now ask question? Get professional answer. Start from the known before you go to the unknown. All right? All health-related questions that have made our people to die preventable there, we will put an end to them through this campaign. So let's quickly look at this first question here. Good day, sir. Please, I don't know what is happening to me. Whenever I meet my husband, everything pours out. This is affecting my marriage. My husband has been behaving somehow ever since a prophetess said, I have spirit husband. Please help me. Goodness me. You know, this is exactly the purpose of this meeting. We have complicated case here. You know, some people may have problem, at least they are limited to that. Now, her own has gotten complicated by reason of the society we found ourselves, and some people parading themselves in any name and nobody cares. She is saying that when they meet as husband and wife, that most times after which most probably talking about, the sperm will come out, which most people complain about. But her own is made worse right now. The husband is in disarray. The husband has started behaving somehow towards her simply because one lady in the name of a prophetess went to sow additional evil seed to the pain the family already having. Their problem is a spirit husband that is making when you meet your husband, the thing will come out. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Lie from the pit of hell. My sister, I know, particularly when this concern is that you may not have gotten your babies, okay? But permit me to tell you, what we are talking about, what you are referring to be a problem is not a problem. Should I tell you? Because most of the times, you know, if you get to see couple, when people get married, expecting, you know, the issue of childbearing, a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelming expectation. So sometimes you see, after the issue of intercourse, they expect everything to go in and remain there. But those things are not meant to remain. Now listen to me. What a man pours out during ejaculation is called semen. Semen. It's not sperm. All right? The sperm is invisible. You don't see. You only see them with a microscope. If you use something like micro manipulator, it magnifies it to about 2,000 times for you to see it more visibly using that particular equipment. Now, why is it that apart from that living one that is in that fluid, what is the essence of the other one? You know what? God designed the sperm to be accompanied by fluid, like 60% of the sperm will come from seminal vesicle, 20% of it will come from the prostate. Copper cells and other will produce their own. Only 3% of what you see a man pour comes out with sperm, which is coming from the testicle. Now see this. The essence of that fluid is that when it goes out, it dilutes the acidity of the vagina so that you will be able to allow those living ones to be able to use that thing as a fluid medium to swim, because they need to swim, just like you can see them here. All right? They need to swim and enter inside. Every of that fluid will come out. when the timer comes. It's either they come out immediately or later it may just come out as fluid. And you know what happened? Those fluids that come out, if by emission or commission it gets direct with all the chemical content it has into the womb of a woman, it can cause what is called an anaphylactic shock. It can cause a problem. Even infection and some other things can be introduced. But God made them to accompany into that very dilution of the acidity of the vagina and allow the sperm to flow and go inside, and he say bye-bye, the rest will come out. So don't go and trouble yourself by some of them will finish and carry hand, don't cover the uterus, to make the thing not cover, it will come out. So we don't put pillows, stop all that. The fact remains that if you have infertility related problem, the man's sperm count has to be good, your fallopian tube has to be open, and all the hormonal components assessed. If you have done what you're supposed to do and you are not getting it right, nothing stops you from seeking professional opinion. All right? If it is a thing that you may benefit from time intercourse using folliculometry, or the issue of doing IUI, all right, or the issue of going for this IVF or ICS as the case may be, but don't run in ignorance. Spend the whole of your time pursuing witches and wizards, demons and those that are against you. Come on. We had it enough in this country. We created more enmity. We created more enmity and all that among us. Can you stop? Go to hospital. Leave all those things. Husband, please go and take your wife. Let nobody deceive you by, it's a spiritual husband. It's a spiritual this one. Nonsense. Ignorance is the mother of personal destruction. A voluntary misfortune. And it's worse when you are ignorant of your ignorance. Don't be a victim of that. So let's go further quickly. We have another interesting case here, and he said, "Good evening, doctor. My menses used to flow heavy for 6 days due to fibroids. After the fibroid operation, the first cycle was okay, but 3 months now, it comes only 1 day and sometimes very scanty. Please, I am worried. What do I do?" This is a very striking one. And you know what? She told us right now that she used to bleed up to 6 days, and later was found that she had fibroid and got fibroid removed. Okay? And only to remove the fibroid, she said, okay, the first one was fine, but subsequent one, she discovered that the menses wasn't coming. It comes only 1 day. Sometimes it's just very scanty. Worried, and what exactly is responsible? My sister, I can get your heartbeat. And the heartbeat of many women right now can see their period within their reproductive age group, and couldn't also be in position, even when they see it 1 day or very scanty. First, let's look at what could be responsible for a woman that used to see her menses. All of a sudden, the menses is that stop or coming, spotting, as he said, very scanty. Now, we will first of all look at, let's be sure she did fibroid operation, and let's be sure that she's still young, not to be that she's also going into menopause, all right? But there are other problems that could happen. Before we get into her peculiarity, there's something that is most likely that happened to her following that fibroid operation. And that I will explain to you. Let me show you something. This my palm, it will be practically impossible for this very palm to gum together, to stick together, as long as I'm alive. And what could be responsible for that? There's a covering, a coat, a covering God put here. It is called keratinized squamous epithelial cell. It protects this, but it used to be tougher because, if you fall, it can withstand some, strain and all that. So, these very hand rubs, be that as it may, If I give a cut here and zip off this, and also this, and zip down, put this together for just 10 days maximum, you may find it difficult to separate them. They will come together. That picture is what I want you to keep, all right? Now, inside the womb, you have what is called womb cavities, just like a boss, but there are two surfaces of that boss, and two of them usually rub each other. Now, it's not as thick as this, because inside that one, you have what is called columnar epithelial cells. They used to be tinier, like they are inside of your mouth. In other words, any small thing can peel it off. All right? Now, that shiny area that makes the two surfaces of the womb to be in position to not to gum to each other, what happens is, which most likely what could happen to her, is that, in a situation somebody had abortion, all right? In abortion, over-enthusiastic abortion is made in an attempt to take off whatever they might create. On the course of creating or scratching the wall, it may scratch off that very shiny surface. And when that very shiny surface is scraped off, over the time now, these two will be flesh to flesh and may gum together. You get that? And that's why in that particular case, just like also similar to what happened here, which I will explain further with relationship to fibroid, is that what happened here is that when those things gum together, the surface of the womb, depending on the surface area of the womb that gum, if it gum all over, no menses, zero. If it gum to a particular point, the remaining portion may not produce menses, but it will not be matched. So if this person has been seeing menses for 4 days, it may come down to 2 days, 1 day, or sometimes you may just see very small spotting. Did you get that? That is what a doctor will tell you, that you have what is called Ackerman syndrome, named after Joseph Ackerman that discovered it in 1966. Sometimes it's also, the doctor may say, you have what is called amenorrhea traumatica or uterine synechia. They are all same, all right? What is only showing that this particular womb gum together. So that could happen in area of issue, abortion in area of miscarriage, where during correcting some D&C, some funny things may happen. It may also happen when there is overwhelming infection inside that womb that made the womb to come together. All right. Looking at this, our sister's case, she said she used to bleed excessively. And by reason of bleeding excessively, she discovered she had fibroid. And from every indication, the fibroid that can cause such a bleeding that are called mucous fibroid. If you look at this, you can see there are fibroid that can grow on the upper side, the one at the middle that you call intramural, upper one you call them subserous, but the one inside the womb, where the menses happen, they are called submucous fibroid. Those one causes a lot of bleeding. So that's why she was bleeding excessively. Now the surgery came. Another question is being asked. What then stopped the menses from now coming? She's suffering one problem excessive, and now another problem again is coming in. And he said, could the surgery be responsible, or could it be there was no good job done on that womb for which it happened? Let me tell you exactly what happened. Now, recall what we said earlier, that inside of the womb there is a columnar cell that not allow them to come together. However, when fibroid grows inside that womb, when you are removing the fibroid, that shiny area will be on the surface of that fibroid inside. When you pull it out, you also pull out that very portion away with it. So you will create a raw surface, all right? And depending on the number of areas, so if you leave that very womb, after closing of it, the womb may gum together. That's what Isaiah said, Ackerman syndrome. Okay. Now, the question is, what could be a solution to this kind of a thing, because it's something that could happen when it has to do with fibroid surgery that is of this very magnitude. When there's a lot of submucous fibroid. What happened in that particular area is this. For such a thing, now, in the recent time, the outcome of fibroid operation has been quite encouraging. Many women this time can get fibroid operation done and have their babies. Very, very common. And one key thing that also assisted in that, in the area of the use of diatemy helps in reduction of the blood loss during fibroid operation. So by reason of the minimal blood loss, the doctor can be in position to have more time. Those places the fibroid can go out, it will be in position to nicely have time to close it with a very good sutures available right now. So when that is closed, some school of thought, which has been found to be working, also after the fibroid operation, they pass what is called intrauterine catheter. Put like a balloon inside the womb so that it will separate that particular plate for at least 10 days. When after 10 days, he remove it, so he helped that womb to remain like this. But recent study has also shown that following fibroid operation, particularly those ones inside the womb, there is a recommendation for hysteroscopy, a camera that will go in there within 3 months of that operation, just to be sure that the inside of the womb, even if there is that adhesion trying to form, it could be in position to clear them off, so as to maintain the cavity of the womb where the baby ought to stay for that woman to achieve pregnancy. These are the recent measures that have been put in place to ensure that this woman should be able to see her menses again. Additionally, and most importantly, be able to have her baby after that particular period. I think it's quite interesting. These are what so many women pass through. Some will even say, no, don't do fibroid operation. That if you do fibroid operation, you will not get pregnant again. That's why you don't need to allow fibroid to grow and distort everywhere. That's part of the challenges. All right, so when you have fibroid and it's noticed, take it out before it goes into the complication of you bleeding excessively and all that. So my sister, I will encourage you at this juncture, what we need most importantly is a hysteroscopic evaluation to be able to have an overview on what is happening inside that particular womb. Thereafter, if there is obvious adhesion or coming together of those inside, what is called adhesiolysis could be perfectly done, and the inside of the womb can be made good again. All right?
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye, now on TVC News every Sunday by 3:30 p.m.
My name is Adini Giadile. I'm usually based in the United States, and I needed to have a procedure done. My mom knew of Save a Life Hospital here in Port Harcourt, and they were able to do the procedure, and my recovery is now proceeding very nicely. The surgeons were very, very technically sound. The accommodations have also been really, very nice. So I'm very happy that I came to Nigeria to do this procedure. And I would also suggest and encourage other Nigerians to understand that Nigeria is a place where you can come to do surgeries like this or any other surgery and still get the same kind of service that you would expect in the United States.
My name is Julie Okomose Kapmaya. I'm from Edo State, Benin City, but I've lived in Netherlands all my life, half of my life, let me say. About the health challenge I'm having, I have a fibroid issue, and I was actually afraid to do it in Netherlands. The doctor advised me over there to actually remove the womb or take it out, so I'm afraid. I read about Dr. Save a Life on the internet, so I decided to come to Nigeria to do the surgery here.
My name is Dr. Eunice Otuekong. I'm based in Los Angeles, California. I'm also a medical worker. I had this fibroid, and the fibroid was so big. In America, they told me, oh, I cannot, get out the fibroid without my uterus coming out. I made research and I came across this wonderful hospital, Save a Life Mission Hospital.
And I came, and the surgery was very, very successful. My eyes were wide open while they were doing the surgery, and it lasted for just 1 hour, and we were playing music, conversation was going on, and everything went fine. And then I came out of the theater an hour later, and then took me to my room, and I've been recovering, and it's been a very fine journey all through, and I'm very happy I did it.
Finally, I came to the hospital. I was shocked with the kind of reception I received from the security to everybody. It's shocked. I thought I was in America. They made the right decision and they saved my womb. Within few hours, everything was all done. I thank Dr. Richard Okoye, who and I thank God I gave him the ability to take what he saw out there, brought it into this country, and even did it in a bigger way than we expected. I'm so grateful.